Oh, what a game between Oxford United and Newcastle United in the fourth round replay at the Kassam Stadium in Oxford. It's finished 3-2 after extra time to Newcastle United, but it could have been 3-2 to Oxford United. Newcastle were 2-0 up in this game. It is a tale of two halves in the 90 minutes. Sean Longstaff's goal, very well taken, but the five defenders in front of him just back off. And that's the difference between League One defending and Premier League defending. Had Oxford United been a Premier League side, those defenders would have put more pressure on Sean Longstaff, and he may not have been able to get the shot away, but it's still a brilliant finish. Top corner, very well taken. Joelinton, he's much maligned. He hasn't really settled into English football. He hasn't got a lot of goals. He went off injured as well, just not long after scoring. He took a heavy knock before scoring, but his goal. Newcastle in the Premier League struggled with possession. They're generally playing on the counter-attack, and this is when they're at their best. And his goal, while it was a scruffy finish, he got it on target. His pace outdid the Oxford United defence, and Sean Longstaff, it's a long ball. But it's not a long ball up to a guy to hold up, it's a long ball for a guy to run onto. He has pace, he showed his pace, he skins the defender and puts it past the goalkeeper. And it's 2-0. And after that, Oxford United came out a little bit and made Newcastle have to defend and think and put Newcastle on the back foot for a little bit. They had to absorb waves of pressure, but they get to half-time 2-0, and they're comfortable. And for most of the second half, Newcastle controlled the pace of the game. It was a bitty second half. It wasn't as good as the first half. The first half was very open, but they give away a silly foul on the edge of the box, and Liam Kelly, what a free kick. There's a reason why Feyenoord have actually signed him and sent him out on loan. He has also scored goals for Feyenoord. Feyenoord don't sign poor players. Feyenoord are known for picking up good players in the transfer market, developing players. He's on loan at Oxford. What a free kick! And then Oxford United completely woke up. Newcastle completely imploded. Holland's goal again comes from a free kick from a silly foul. It's a great half volley. The ball's pinged around. The goalkeeper's gone up. The ball's pinged around. It's been poorly cleared, and he puts pace on the ball with a side foot half volley. It's a brilliant finish. It's 2-2, right on the stroke of full time. We go into extra time. Both sides are clearly going out to win the game. There is no let's kill time in the corner, but it's end to end. Oxford could have won the game. Newcastle did win the game. Saint-Maximin, he came on for Joelinton when he went off injured. He was Newcastle's best player tonight. He had several shots on target, forcing the goalkeeper to make saves. So he's had several sighters of goal. But my God, that finish in the second half of extra time on 116 minutes. Out of all 5 goals, which were all brilliant tonight for finishing, a 5-goal thriller deserves to be won by a goal like that. And Newcastle can count themselves exceptionally lucky that they're in the 5th round for the first time since 2006, because that last 10 minutes of the second half, they completely imploded. Completely. And for large portions of extra time, they looked second best. You could not tell that Oxford United were a League One team and Newcastle United were a Premier League team. And Newcastle United are a team that do struggle to score goals. And the fact they've scored 3 tonight, in the first game, it was a 0-0. Newcastle United do struggle to score goals. That is a problem going forward. Joelinton being injured. They have got this week break, but that could be an issue going forward. They've got a lot of players injured. They've got to play Sean Longstaff at the head of the midfield. They put with 5 in the midfield. That worked. But as the game wore on, they needed to sort of get that third goal in normal time, and they didn't. They had opportunities to do so, and Saint-Maximin did have a multitude of shots on target. He was their best player. And at times, he seemed the only player willing, along with the Longstaff brothers, Matt and Sean Longstaff, willing to take the game to Oxford United. The rest of the team, apart from Lascelles in defence, really weren't doing enough to put their imprint on the game and say, look, we are the Premier League team. They were second best for lengthy periods of extra time as well. That last 10 minutes was really worrying in normal time when Oxford got 2 goals in 10 minutes. Newcastle stopped playing. They stopped competing. And that's going to be concerning for Steve Bruce going forward. I know it's a one-off game. Yes, they have this winter break now. And Saint-Maximin, they can really, count their lucky stars on that pick-up in the transfer market in the summer. Great find that he is for Newcastle. And that finish, if you haven't seen it, I do suggest you watch the highlights, because that is an absolute rocket of a shot. And he had to beat several defenders to set himself up for the shot. It's something out of nothing. And all 5 goals tonight were brilliant. But that is possibly the goal of the round. Thank you very much for watching. If you are a Newcastle or Oxford United fan, I'll be really glad to hear from you in the comments section. And what a game. It was actually a brilliant game to watch. And whoever says the FA Cup should scrap replays altogether clearly hasn't watched a lot of the games tonight, because looking at the scores coming through from the other games, I mean, Reading Cardiff went to penalties after I think a 3-3. Coventry Birmingham went to, I think, extra time or penalties as well. All the replays tonight had a lot of goals in them and a lot of excitement. So yes, the debate about replays is there, but you had to watch the game tonight or look at the scores coming in from the other games. Teams were going out to win tonight. A lot of open football, end-to-end stuff. And while this wasn't necessarily the best game for technicality or skill, for entertainment, edgy seat stuff, Oxford pushed Newcastle all the way, and Steve Bruce has to be mightily relieved as a manager, but also frustrated with his players. But Saint-Maximin was dug him out of a hole. Longstaff plays well, and Jolinton finally gets a goal after really struggling for scoring this season, but he's gone off hurt, and injuries could plague Newcastle for the rest of this season. But they go on to play West Brom in the next round. Oxford United, I mean, they've had some good cup runs, and some good cup successes against teams in the leagues above in recent seasons. They can, some of their players put themselves in the shop window come the summer transfer market, and they put a good performance in themselves. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.